Claude Code instructions leaked in an Apple support app. A swift networking vision, the first ever memory corruption exploit on Apple M5, and a sneak peek at WWDC 2026. All the freshest news for iOS and macOS developers coming up next. I'm Alexander Belouz from the NA team. Let's jump in! Apple is using Claude Code to build apps. Or at least the Apple support team is. This was revealed in the 5.13 release, which accidentally left behind Claude MD files containing agent instructions. Inside were guidelines on shared UI components, project specifics, and best practices for async stream APIs and actor usage. The prompts even covered multi-backend integration via protocols and conditional compilation flags such as Juno enabled and dev build. The leak was first spotted by MacRumors analyst Aaron. His tweet quickly went viral, catching Apple's attention. Judging by the reaction, shipping Claude MD inside the bundle wasn't part of the plan. Version 5.13.1 was quickly pushed to clean up the mess. But why does this news even matter? On the surface, nothing broke. But in the era of AI agents, Xcode project configurations require absolute vigilance. Today you accidentally bundle agent instructions. Tomorrow it could be your roadmap or even .env files. The cost of the simple mistake can be irreparable. Agentic programming has already become an essential part of our daily routine. But to truly unlock AI potential, you need the right set of tools. That's why my first recommendation is the simulator project called Baguette. This fresh, open-source solution provides a CLI for simulator management and a standalone web interface that renders the UI at 60 FPS. Baguette supports almost all interactions: screen taps, keyboard inputs, system buttons, and even swipes, opening up powerful capabilities for agent workflows. It saves you from the misery of device farm management by offering a plug-and-play skill right out of the box. Next up is the Susumi AI service by NS Hipster. This tool solves the agent knowledge cutoff problem by providing access to any Apple documentation in clean Markdown format. Susumi covers standard docs, human interface guidelines, and even WWDC session transcripts. As a bonus, it supports any public documentation built with Doc.C. Matt prepared a full suite of integrations. You can use Susumi via a local or remote MCP server, the CLI, an agent skill, or even Google Chrome extension. Check out the official Susumi AI website for detailed integration guides. Apple invests billions of dollars into device security. Last year, alongside new hardware, the company introduced Memory Integrity Enforcement (MIE). Built on ARM's enhanced memory tagging extensions, this mechanism validates memory tags before any read or write operations, blocking malicious code in its tracks. This effectively shuts down an entire class of memory corruption exploits, such as buffer overflows and use after free vulnerabilities. But hackers always find a way. Researchers from Team Caliph became the first to bypass the hardware security of M5 chips, and it took them just 6 days. The story began on April 25th, when Bryce Dunk accidentally discovered a macOS attack vector. By April 27, Dion Blazakis has joined the effort. Josh Main then built the necessary tooling, and in less than a week, they had a working exploit. They successfully bypassed system protection on macOS 26.4.1. The attack can be triggered by unprivileged user, relies entirely on standard system calls, and drops straight into root shell. Caliph noted that they use Anthropic's Mesos preview model during their vulnerability research. The model shines at generalizations. Once it learns how to exploit a specific type of problem, it can spot similar flaws anywhere. While bypassing MIE is an incredibly complex task, the combination of AI and human expertise made the impossible possible. The team published a proof-of-concept video of their blog, making the first MIE exploit in history. After Apple's rollout a patch with the fix, Caliph promises to release a comprehensive 55-page report. And one more thing. We are constantly improving the format, so your feedback really matters to us. Share it through the short form in the video description. And if you are open to a deeper chat, leave your contact info. We'll invite a few people for a short interview and send a small thank you gift. Almost every Swift app relies on networking, and while there are plenty of tools available, each has its caveats. From outdated APIs to duplicated features across different Apple's frameworks. The Swift community decided it was time for a change and introduced an official vision for the future of the networking stack. The main goal is to build a secure, modular, and cross-platform high-level API that hides all underlying complexity. So, what's coming? First, a brand new HTTP client. It's a modern, features full async await support, and lets you completely forget about URL session, delegates, and choosing between closures and combine. Redirects, authentication, cookies, caching, bidirectional streaming, and even resumable uploads will all work out of the box. Next, a new HTTP server. Right now, Swift is limited to high-level frameworks like Vapor or Hummingbird, or low-level Swift Neo. But Swift Neo was designed long before modern concurrency existed. This new server will be built from the ground up on structured concurrency, rather than adapting legacy solutions to a new paradigm. It's also worth noting the plan for universal primitives. We will get core libraries, similar to Swift HTTP types, that are shared across all frameworks and completely platform agnostic. On top of that, shared implementations for HTTP protocols, Quick, TLS, and WebSockets are on the roadmap. This will finally free developers from networking boilerplate, letting them focus on core business logic instead. And finally, let's talk about WWDC. With the event just weeks away, it's a safe bet that Apple Intelligence, or AI, will completely dominate the keynote. If rumors are to be believed, Apple is gearing up for the biggest Siri overall in history. The assistant is expected to get a lot smarter, featuring a standalone app with a classic chat-like interface, a fresh coat of paint, and dedicated extensions for customization. Users will be able to tweak Siri to their liking and even change its voice. But it's not just about Siri. Bloomberg reported that macOS and iOS 27 are shaping up to be Snow Leopard-style updates. Apple is shifting its focus towards under-the-hood performance gains and stability. This should iron out existing bugs and boost device battery life. While the liquid glass design likely won't undergo major changes, we can expect new system-wide settings for interface customizations. As for macOS 27, this release will officially mark the end of Intel era in the Apple ecosystem. The new OS will exclusively support ARM-based Mac computers. Personally, I really hope this focus on stability pays off, especially on iOS. Because right now, the liquid glass user experience and iPhone performance in low-power mode leave a lot to be desired. What updates are you looking forward the most? Share your thoughts in the comments. By the way, MacPaw is hosting a live WWDC 2026 Discord watch party with commentary from Apple's creator Zolotech as Apple's biggest announcements drop in real time. And if you are at WWDC in person, join MacPaw in California for conversations, community, and a closer look at what's next for the Mac. Full details are in the description. Don't watch WWDC alone. That's everything from me for today. See you very soon. Until next time.